So obviously, just before we get started with the traditional media availability, we'd like to take a moment to thank Dale Earnhardt Jr. for his contributions to our sport and to racing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where he has always been supportive and always been a friend, and we'd like to take a moment to honor him on the eve of his final weekend racing up here in the Granite State. So I'd first like to introduce our Executive Vice President and General Manager from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Mr. David McGrath. And Dale, come on out with him.
All right. We'll stand right here. Dale, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you. You have meant the world to fans in New England for many, many years. And as a team, we thought long and hard, and giving you a little remembrance of New Hampshire Motor Speedway and the fine folks of New England. And as the team thought about it, Dale, we went back and forth and we said, what can we give Dale Earnhardt Jr.? And we came to the answer. We decided today we're going to give you the Patriots. So, there they come.
All right.
So we're going to make a series of presentations, Dale, real quickly. The first thing we're going to give you is a powder horn, used by the Patriots, used by Minutemen when they put their gunpowder into their muskets. That is engraved with your name. That is made right here in New England. And the second thing we're going to give you is the tricorn hat. Yeah, absolutely. I'll hold that for you. There you go. There it is.
Nice.
It looks great. And then over here, what I'd like to present to you is your very own, custom-made, right here in New England, beautiful musket. It's very long. It is custom engraved with your initials on the top. And it says on the side, from your friends at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Made right here in New England and Connecticut. Took over a month to make that. I'd like to present that to you.
Excellent. So if Dale and the Minutemen would like to pose for just a moment for photos. Dale, that's a real operational gun, by the way, just so you know. And it is not loaded at the moment. Excellent. David, thank you.
Thank you.
And before you go, Dale, we'd like to call up now Cheryl LaPrade, who is the Director of Speedway Children's Charities of New Hampshire, who also has a special presentation in your honor.
Hi, Dale. On behalf of Speedway Children's Charities and New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we wanted to continue your legacy in making an impact on children all across New England. And working in conjunction with the Dale Jr. Foundation, we are renaming one of our signature annual events that we do here called the Safe Kids event. And we're renaming it, and we'd like to introduce the new name is the Dale Jr. Foundation Safe Kids 301. It will be taking place starting in 2018. So we wanted to do that. And to add a little bit more horsepower to that, we are going to be making a donation in the amount of $8,800 to the Injury Prevention Center of New Hampshire. Come right on over here, guys. This donation is going to help purchase over 600 bike helmets for these kiddos, and it's going to help them almost double the amount that they've been able to buy in the past. So we are grateful for all you do, and this is in honor of you to help make kids safe here.
Perfect, thank you. Cheryl, thank you very much. Dale, we'll give you the microphone, and before we turn it over to the media presentation, perhaps just a few thoughts. I know we caught you off guard, and maybe I'll just ask you this question as you give your final thoughts of when the dust settles on this season and you're looking back, how you might reflect on your days here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Oh, man. Well, first off, the musket, that's really pretty awesome. Don't have one of those in my collection. I think that's something I don't. I might have the one up on Truex. Me and him are hunting pals. So, have to see what he thinks about that. But also the donation, stuff like that. We've talked over and over throughout mainly the back half of the season about how we really appreciate the tracks doing something within their community and helping folks in this area means a lot to me. That the track went that direction, and it's a really great idea. I just got done riding 32 miles with Jimmy and Matt and Daniel Suarez, so I was a little sad to see the chair wasn't here when I walked in, because I was certainly ready to. I've been ready to sit down. But that's gonna buy a lot of bike helmets, and that's critical. That's gonna save some kids from injury, and I'm certain of it. And it'll also promote to those kids that continue to cycle throughout their lives to do it in a safe way, and it'll promote that to their friends as well. So this will make an impact far beyond what we can imagine, and I really appreciate the track doing something like that. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much. The track's been great. To be honest with you, I really have enjoyed racing here. And the New England fan base is so passionate about their racing, the modifieds and their heroes that have raced up here, and the few that have raced in the Cup Series. They just really embrace the racing, and they're proud of their heritage and what they do, and when we come up here, it's almost like we're guests of the modifieds. It's almost because and they're such an honest bunch, and we've come to know a lot of those guys because we worked with a lot of them over. A lot of the mechanics that were at DEI came down from the Northeast, and Steve Park brought a bunch of guys in, and so I had a good understanding of what the drivers are like from up here, and what racing was like, and how passionate the fans were about it, and even how passionate the people that do it are. So when we come up here, we know that people are here to see a race, and they support the track really well. The track particularly is a lot of fun to drive. It's quite a difficult track to describe, to be honest with you, because of the various banking and so forth, and now with the new grip that they're putting down, it makes it it's a moving target, which is fun. It's a good challenge. But I really love racing here, always have, and it's one of the races, as far as length, it seems just about right. You guys started out with a perfect length, and have kept it that way for a long time, and it's just enough racing, it's just the right amount. So I've always appreciated that too. But the facility's always been great. You guys are always upgrading and improving and putting a lot into it, and there's a lot of things outside the racetrack to entertain the fans throughout the weekend. We have the stage outside. We'll be on there tomorrow night. It's going to be great for the fans and exciting for us as well to be a part of that. So, and I'll be coming back. It's going to be great to be able to come back here and be a part of the race weekend next season. So it won't be disappearing.
Well, Dale, on behalf of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, of New England race fans, we wish you the very best of luck. David said you can come back anytime. We'll open the track for you, and wherever your steps may take you, the very best to you. Thanks very much. I'll turn it back over to Steph now.
All right, we'll open up to questions, and we'll start over here on the far side with Jamie.
Hey, Dale. Jamie Staten from WMUR-TV. If you look at the numbers, just in terms of where you finished races here, it's certainly nowhere near like Talladega, where you won 6 times. Do you think those numbers really tell the story on how you did here?
I don't know. I don't think that the numbers on a page really tell the story well about anything. So you just have to have lived it, and there's been a lot of memorable moments here for me, a lot of close, almost wins. Had some cars that should have won probably on a few occasions. Led some races here, run well. Times we had really great cars, someone just had a little bit better race car. But And we got a pretty good one here this weekend. I'm pretty excited. The car come off the trailer real comfortable and fast. We went to a simulator and tried some things that we really think were going to help us. Brought some of the ideas that seemed to make our car good in Richmond here. Hopefully that's going to, I can't wait to get into the car tomorrow and get to work on it some more, but the initial, feeling about it is that we've made the car better than we had here in the first race. But yeah, I don't think that the numbers do tell the story, and I don't know that they have very often for me. I don't know how the drivers feel when they look at their statistics on paper. I don't think that tells a story at all. There's a lot of things that happen in races, and you can't see that by just looking at the results. But certainly have had some great cars here. It's a good track that I find challenging, but it's a fun challenge to try to figure out how to get around the corner.
We'll go here to the middle and then to Dustin.
Paul Ambert from Short Track Scene. Dale, you mentioned the modifieds. You've been such a good drafter over the years. Do you think we could ever see you in a modified car at New Hampshire?
I don't think so. I'm retiring from Cup driving, so I don't think I'm going to be surprising anybody by showing up to any of those other races. I talked to LW a little bit about it. He raced modifieds down around home, and talked to Newman about it, and modified guys are certainly a different breed. And I don't know whether I'm cut from that cloth or of that mold, So, but I marvel at the cars that and the way they race and how hard they race, but never had much interest to drive one, but certainly enjoy watching those guys race, and have come to admire a lot of the guys that raced in modifieds all up and down the East Coast. So a lot of legends.
We'll go to Dustin and then Pat.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. As there's more focus on keeping a level playing field in the sport, what is your feeling about the burnouts after the race for post-victory celebrations where it can blow out tires and damage quarter panels? Is that really something to be concerned about, or that something NASCAR should take more enforcement on? And if you win, what's your burnout going to be like?
Well, that'd be like all of the burnouts. I've never blowed out the tires on purpose. But, we've been doing burnouts for 30 years, it seems like. I mean, it just seems like in the Gen 6 car, once everybody started figuring out how to trick the underbody and things like that, everybody blows the tires out. So, it's just hard for me to see the logic in. It's hard for me to see the logic in suspending a crew chief, car chief, for some tape flapping on the spoiler when the winner drives into victory lane with the rear of the car tore all to hell. I don't see how that doesn't, come across anybody's conscience or common sense. I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense to me, and it never has. I've been kind of waiting all this time for NASCAR to eventually say, look, we just rather you guys not blow the tires out. They talk about not wanting to be the fun police. Being the fun police is not on the radar of their damn problems. I don't think they need to worry about, that's a cop-out in my opinion. But I think that you can do burnouts, without blowing the tires out. But that happened for years. But with the Gen 6 car, maybe even with the COT, but I don't remember it too much with the COT. But, I mean, can anybody tell me who's the last guy that didn't blow his tires out? First Pocono race. The guy, I mean, will they blow them out at the end of every race this chase playoffs? I mean, that's just the new norm. It didn't really bother me till I thought about it. And I'm like, the 24 is going to get suspended, crew chief, car chief, for this tape mess, and the winner of the race is riding in victory lane with the damn rear of the car tore all to hell. You can't even take it. And I love Martin, and it ain't about Martin. I mean, every guy out there is done it. So I don't know. I don't know if there'd be a very popular opinion about it, but that's how I feel.
Why is it a cop-out? You said it's shouldn't the rules be all? Why do you feel it's a cop out?
I just feel like that they should step up. They're the governing body. It's obvious it's done intentionally. It's not unintentional. And you cannot take the race car. They have to jack it up, put tires on it. If you're watching the video of these crewmen trying to fix that tape on that spoiler of the 24 car, imagine what the hell's going on in the car to gets to jack it up and put tires on it before it can go across the LIS. I mean, there's just, we go on and on about it. Everybody, it's something I don't really got to worry about no more after the end of this season. So, but I've been feeling this way about the blowouts for a long time. Like, damn, why don't they just tell them to stop? You can do a damn burnout without blowing the tires out. We did that happen. I mean, look at pretty much every win from 2000 all the way through the COT. There's a lot of burnouts when the tires aren't. You have to deliberately do that. It's not like, oh, my bad, blew my tire. I mean, it's deliberate. So, tells me that there's some purpose behind it, and I don't know why it's not so. I don't know why it's so hard for NASCAR to say, look, man, do some donuts. You can do donuts without blowing the tires out, but you don't have to blow the tires. But until they tell them not to do it, it's fair game. But it just upset me with what happened to Chase and how they sort of got zeroed in on when all this is sort of going on right under everybody's nose. Doesn't make any sense.
We'll go to Pat and then Amy and Jerry.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com. You have 4 cars running for the Xfinity title, and they've all said that they would want to win the title for you as much as for themselves.
Say, huh?
They all want to win the title for you as much as
Oh.
for themselves.
That's good.
Said,
I'm
yeah.
the boss.
Yeah.
I'm glad they said that.
Yeah. Well, to that point, what does it mean to you to have such loyal employees?
Oh, well, I mean, on the Xfinity side, it's a smaller company. It's still, even though we've got 150 employees plus, it still has that family feel to it. So, I think eventually you get so big, it's hard to hold on to that, and it gets to become more of a business, and you see less and less of everybody because it's just so damn big. You can't get around everybody. We're still in that bubble where it still feels like family. There is a lot of family there, a lot of relatives that work there, and the drivers that I got, we're all friends, and so I hope they want to win it for me, Kelly, and Kelly for sure, because she's the day-to-day. She's grinding through all the heartache and heartburn and dealing with every mountain that we have to climb. She has to figure out a way up it, and LW is a big part of it too. I mean, I could just go on. We got so many great people working there, but I'm glad that I'm glad that they think about me or anybody else in that company, because that means we're doing something right. We got our people feeling good. When there's a driver out there that don't have that connection to his owner, there's something wrong, something missing. So I guess we're doing something right, and we're treating our folks good, so they want to do well for you. That's the way I feel about Rick. I mean, I have a love and a relationship with him that makes me want to go out and do right, and when I don't do well, I want to apologize to him, and even though it's not necessary, it's just a feeling you have, because you feel like you just always want to make him proud, so I get it. Yep.
We'll go to Amy.
Amy Harrop, Race for Weekly. So looking back on your past at New Hampshire, do you have a favorite racing memory here? And also, what are you going to miss most about New England? Not necessarily the racetrack, but coming back here to New Hampshire.
Well, I'm going to keep coming back. So I know it'll be in a different perspective for me, and it'll be fun. I'm going to see it from a different angle and experience a race weekend at all these tracks. And we'll just say, pointing out New Hampshire, I'm going to see and experience this race and this weekend differently, and it'll be fun. It'll be enlightening and an eye-opening experience. Every time I've been in the booth or around those guys, it's been I've been blown away and overwhelmed, and it's more fun and exciting than I could imagine, and all those things. So I'm excited to come back and go through this process next year and just go to all these tracks. But what I will miss is just being in the garage, working on the cars and working with the guys and trying to get through the weekend and get the car fast. And the racing here is, really fun, to be honest with you. We have a pretty good time out there trying to figure out how to get around it and racing everybody, trying to catch a guy and figure out a way to get around him. It's really challenging. It's one of those tracks where it's hard to pass, but in a fun way, which is rare. Usually where a lot of tracks where it's hard to pass, you're not really enjoying that too much, but you can get to people and catch them, and you just got to work your way around them, and it's like old school, kind of has that old school short track feel, even though the straightaways are forever. Still has that short track feel to it.
Go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN. Non-racing question. I missed this podcast that you did, but apparently you've talked about how going to Charlotte Douglas Airport is fun and you like flying commercial. Can you elaborate on that? Because the rest of us might disagree.
Right, I'm sure. So, of course, I don't fly commercial that often. I'll just be quite honest and upfront about it. I don't fly commercial that often, so when I do, I'm like, man, this is going to be neat. And Amy's like, oh, no, it ain't. You're not going to like it. Wait till this happens, that happens, and she's just naming things that I know that that happen. But I just, I enjoy. I don't mind doing it. I like to do it, and especially flying in and out of Charlotte, we get to go by Whiskey River. I don't really get a lot of time to go by there and see what's going on, but the sitting around and waiting on the gate to open and all that stuff, I've not done it enough to hate it. So that's really where it is. And yes, I'm spoiled would be a good way to put it, is to be quite honest. But we'll, certainly as I go into this new chapter in life, and get further down the road, I don't know that owning a private plane is a long-term situation for me, or so I'm understanding that there'll be gonna be some more commercial flights in my future. So maybe one day I'll grow to hate it, but for now I don't mind it too bad.
Do we have any final questions for Dale? All right, Dale, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank y'all.